Well, I wanted to talk about the best lenses for a crop sensor. Rebel SL3, also known as 250D. So I used to have two cameras. I had the full frame. No, I started with T7i, Rebel T7i. It was perfect for video, and I use it with this lens, 10 to 18 millimeter, like the best lens for YouTube videos. Super light STM, you know, very light, very great autofocus for video. But then T7i was Rebel, was not very good for pictures, and so I traded that one in for 6D Mark II, because that one also has you know, flip screen and dual pixel AF, which is great for video. The only problem is that, you know, when I use this little tripod, let me just show you. Yeah, like I'm using this, right? I'm using this tripod, like, which is super great for YouTube videos, you know. Just put a camera in here. But what I discovered is that while when I traded for the full frame 26 megapixels 6D Mark II, is that, yeah, my photos became better because it's a much better camera for photos, but videos are the same. The quality of videos was the same, but the camera became much heavier, right? And so I kept the 6D Mark II, but specifically for videos I got this SL3, a Rebel SL3, which in other parts of the world is known as 250D, I believe. And of course this lens, you see, it has all plastic. That's no good, but you know, that's why it costs what it cost. And so this combo is specifically great for, you know, 10 to 18, and then with the flip screen, right? So you can turn it towards yourself. So this is one great combo. It's super light. It's even lighter than T7i, but of course this camera it has limited use for photography, you know, if you're into photography, because it only has like a nine autofocus points. Like, I thought 45 was bad on 6D Mark II, and then I got this one. But basically, when I'm doing video, I just keep, no, what's funny, yeah, so I just keep it in autofocus, automatic point selection, you know, because it's just moving them. But when you are using live view, actually, you get much more points. Like the entire screen, you can touch any spot on the screen, you know, when you shooting with the live view. It just, you get that 9 selectable when you use the viewfinder, you know. So it's not that bad, but I mean, again, as a video camera, this is like amazing, you know, super light, small, and I did take some pictures with it, and what I discovered is that for some reason that camera did not like this beautiful 35mm f2, which according to DxOMark, it's the sharpest lens, one of the sharpest prime lenses on the full frame. Like if you look up Canon 5D Mark III, Canon 5D Mark IV, or 5DSR, because they don't have 6D Mark II over there on DxOMark.com. Like this particular lens, 35mm f2, is super sharp, you know. And I was surprised when I put it on this camera. So it becomes what, like 52mm. I did not see, you know, that sharpness. Like it was pretty bad, you know. Like, I know the lens is fine, right, because it worked on you know, 6D Mark II, no issues. So I know there's nothing wrong with the lens. It's just for some reason this particular combo, this camera and this lens, just don't want to mix. But when I grab this one, 24mm f2.8, and I put it on that camera, it loved it, you know. So 24 becomes 38, you know, so super useful for street photography, for example. And I just spent like last weekend I went to Toronto and did a bunch of photos, and super great quality, you know, like nice, sharp, and it's just probably a little bit heavier than this lens. But I didn't want to use this because the zoom is definitely 10-18 is not, first of all, it's bigger, right? So you don't want to attract attention, you know, on the street. So just wanted to say that this lens basically is highly recommended for this camera if you want to take high quality stills. Okay, that's what I discovered. Then I did not try 50mm. Maybe I'll try it this time. This is a 50 STM, I believe. Yeah, so it's a 50, like the cheap one, 1.8, but it's a full frame lens, right? It's not the crop sensor version. And so on that one, it'll become 80mm, you know. So I don't know. It's still light outside. Maybe I should go and take some photos and show you guys how it looks like, so we can test it. But I know that 24 is the best so far, but I never used this one on the crop sensor on this Rebel. And then I have this lens, which was great for as a video lens for 6D Mark II, because this is a full frame STM 24-105, but it's not f4, it's the STM version, which is 3.5 to 5.6, I believe. 3.5, yeah, 3.5 to 5.6, but you can even do macro, and it's stabilized, right? And that's what so cool about this lens. So EF 24-105, 3.5, 5.6 IS STM, and this works great with the 6D Mark II, you know. Even pictures, I tried taking pictures, and actually pictures looked pretty good. I did not do any scientific tests, but the quality, the colors were very nice, you know. But I've kept this lens, so now I sold 6D Mark II because it was just getting too big, too heavy. Now I see this tiny little Rebel, you know, can do great video, and it can take, you know, pretty good pictures. And so I kept this one for video because, again, it's STM, right? Super useful, and it's 24-105, so it becomes 38 to about 160. So imagine having these two lenses. So 10-18 becomes 16 to what, 28, roughly, right? And then I have this one, so I cover a very big range, you know, for video, like run and gun, you know. And so if you're looking for a small camera, but you don't trust mirrorless, like I don't like mirrorless, I don't see, you know, this is super cheap, very nice with a flip screen, touch screen, you know, pretty fast camera, works great. So if you're looking for something small and that can produce high quality images and video, I don't know, I like this line of Canon Rebel. Like if you want a heavier camera and which will take slightly better photos, probably T7i would be better, but again, it'll be heavier, right, and cost more money. So I like this one. So basically, okay, so now I think I'll go out, and when we'll do a test, just of course on YouTube, it's hard to see, you know, the difference, but I think I might take some photos of some license plates. Maybe I'm at a hotel, there's some cars outside, and see which. So we, like I said, I don't want to even bother with this 35. I know that it's going to be bad, but I can show you probably 24 and 50, and then okay, we'll take some pictures with 10 to 18, and then 24, 50, and then this one 24 to 105. Maybe try to see, you know, if there's any difference, you know. But as for me, that's what I decided. I just left one small camera, and I think it's good enough, since mostly nowadays it's all about sharing photos online, you know. Like, I don't do any prints, and for online photo sharing, this is of course much better than a cell phone picture, because you can use all these lenses, right, which you cannot do with a cell phone. And plus, there's much more controls on a camera. You know, you can adjust a whole bunch of things, so you can be much more creative than with a cell phone. All right, so let's go outside and shoot some photos.